All right, this is going to be my next project that I'm going to be working on. And while it will eventually involve some metal casting, it's going to start off being very, very much electronics. And I'll break all this stuff open and go along as I go through. But the intention is to make a fuzz pedal for my guitar. And this stems from a video that I watched a while ago that had to do with recreating the famous fuzz face. And they and I'll probably link that video in the description below if I remember to do so. And the circuit itself isn't particularly complicated. And now, before I go any bit further with this project, it has been more than 20 years since I've done any electronic tech work. So I'm going to be probably rather rusty in this. I'm trying to remember, I think it was when I first tore into the shredder and one of the PC boards that I pulled open. Was it? I'm not even sure I know which one of these it was. Anyway, it had some components on it, and I thought it might have been, maybe it wasn't, I can't remember if it was a shredder or not. Anyway, I think it was this PC board because I was looking at these two components right there and thought, oh my goodness, they've got some transistors there. And I had seen that video prior to cracking this thing open. And I thought, oh, wait a sec. And with all these other components on there, maybe I can build that circuit with recycled parts. So I specifically held back PC boards that had these not surface mount components through hole. I don't ever remember calling them that back in the day. We just had, you know, normal components, and then we had surface mount components. And if we weren't talking specifically about surface mount components, we were talking about these standard through hole components. Anyway, I looked in these, and then I felt like a goob after I looked at it. It's like, gee, those are not transistors. They're actually voltage regulators. And if I would have looked a little more closely, I would have seen that there were more than 3 legs. If I remember right, the voltage regulators I played around with I thought they had 4 legs. Like I said, it's been more than 20 years since I've done any of that stuff. So I went looking around for transistors on this board, and I didn't see any. However, when I got to this board, wherever it came from, and it might have just been in the stack, there's transistors all over the place. So I've got lots and lots of transistors to choose from. Anyway, here's the parts list. I only need 2 transistors, Q1 and Q2, and those are the type of transistors that were listed in the schematic. And then I've got to identify these other components, the capacitors here. I got to find those, and I've got to find these resistors. And then the VR1 and VR2, those are variable resistors, potentiometers, and that'll be used as the controls for the pedal. And so I bought a box of those because I didn't have any variable resistors, any potentiometers anywhere on any PC board that I could find. It's going to be kind of tough to nail some of these components down. I have not practiced reading my resistor color codes in a long time, so I'm going to refer to the interwebs to find out specifically what bands I'm going to be looking for. And then, of course, I can always verify with a multimeter what each of the values are after I remove them. And it'll be the same thing with the capacitors. With the soldering kit, if I remember, I've only opened it up once. I'll unbox it, I guess, a second time and pull things out. And I believe the soldering kit that I ordered had a multimeter in there. I know I've got a multimeter hanging around here. If it's not in this kit, then I bought one separately, and I'll have to dig for that. So anyway, I'll start unboxing this because this will include some other parts, items that I need in order to remove these parts from the PC board and desolder them and such like that. So I'll get to that. That should be the what I transition to. Alright, let's open up this soldering kit. I ordered this on Amazon, and of course made in China. And while it's been 20 some years since I last did this tech sort of thing, I think I was able to remember all the items that I'm basically going to need. All right, so here's one of the things that I purchased. I put it in here when I opened this up. I purchased this separately, and these are going to be the PC boards, and I think I should be able to do this with just one when I start putting that circuit together. So we won't be seeing these for a bit here, but anyway, this is going to be what I attach the recycled components to and put inside the pedal housing, which will be the actual casting part of this video. Okay, and then I've got the booklets come along with things. Oh, something else I ordered separately, desoldering wick. This has a solder sucker in it. I never had good luck with solder suckers during my tech days. I always found this stuff to be far superior when it came to pulling solder off of a PC board to remove components. So I've got that. So there's 2 items in this kit that aren't actually in the kit, and they were sitting on top. So the kit itself comes in this box, box within a box. And yes, I did, as I alluded to in that first segment, I got a multimeter. The other thing I wanted was kind of a third hand, so I could suspend this, make it a little bit easier to solder. Multimeter, and then of course the soldering iron itself. And here we are. So here's the soldering iron. I have not fired this thing up yet. I did open this up just to kind of look at things to make certain it was all there. Oh boy, this, if anybody's watching from the old HP days, will recognize tweezers. Invaluable in what we're doing, because we're doing all our work under a microscope. In fact, I'm going to pause right here. I think I've got my old HP kit stashed away somewhere. Hold on a moment. Yes, indeed, I found it. Oh my goodness, this is the kit that I used during my assembly days, and I also used it during my tech days, and it had some wear and tear. If I remember right, the lid might come off, but anyway, here we go. Various probes, a couple of different tweezers. These here with the insulating wrap on it, what we used to thread our ball bonders when they needed to be rethreaded. I can see here, oh my goodness, it's been a while. Got rust and some oxidation with the non-iron parts. Oh my goodness, it looks like for some reason I grabbed onto a transistor and held onto it for some reason. Most of these were wire probes, and I don't know if the camera's going to catch that real well. Kind of sort of see in all of these different, this is for lifting ball bonds off the surface and such. And I think, do I have my shovel probe? Oh yeah, right here. And this for burnishing. Let's see if I can, I don't know if it'll focus on that. Anyway, on the very end of that is very, very sharp. We had some substrate, and we would shave those things down again under a microscope to make kind of a chisel sort of shape. We use this to pop ball bonds that were errant, or if we needed to scrape epoxy, things like that. See, there's a couple of bits of hardware here. I do not remember what that's from, and I wonder if it was from a machine or two. Anyway, oh my goodness, does this bring back memories? Okay, and this is for a nut driver for the tiny little nuts that went on the posts that would secure our circuits to the gold-plated housings and such. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'll be needing to use any of those tools. Yep, see that lid. It went 10 years, my time at Hewlett-Packard, and then eventually Agilent Technologies. And I think Agilent spun into something different too, so I'm not even sure the division that I worked for Hewlett-Packard, what it is now known as. I know whatever it is, it was all shipped off to Malaysia, which is one of the reasons, if not, well, actually probably the primary reason, and God's direction for sure, why I went back into education. I've been doing that now for, well, starting my 20th year back. Goodness. Anyway, I'll set this aside. Sorry for that diversion. Oh yeah, it was these tweezers that caused that. All right, so then we got the base magnifying glass, and then we called them roach clips back in the day, and we weren't using them for third hands. Well, I didn't. I stayed away from that stuff. But anyone older than Gen X probably knows what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't know how well that's going to hold. That feels a little on the sloppy side, and I do not like. Maybe that's going to swell up if I put water in there. That's supposed to be a sponge, so I can wipe off the tip of my soldering iron. Here's the solder sucker, and again, I won't be using this. I've never been able to get those things to work. And what we got? What do we got here? Oh, nice. Screwdrivers. Well, not just screwdrivers, but Phillips, different kinds of drivers. Huh, interesting. I don't remember, must have been in the kit for some reason. Okay, then looks like batteries and spare tips for the soldering iron. And then solder, which we will definitely need when it comes time to put these things down on a PC board, and then my multimeter, and I should be able, and I didn't even think about, I knew I would be able to check resistance. I don't know if I for some reason, I don't think I remembered to make certain that I had something that could measure capacitance. I may need to get a different multimeter. I may need to make a run to Harbor Freight and see, because I'm seeing voltage, I'm seeing amps, I'm seeing resistance, but I'm not seeing capacitance, and I'm going to need to know that because I've got a bunch of different capacitors. 3 capacitors I'm going to need to know. This with the being able to check resistance, I should be able to identify whether or not the transistors I'm using are NPN or PNP, and I'll have to do a refresher on that. I'll have to probably watch a YouTube video or two as a reminder for what does what. Basically what you're doing is you're measuring the 3 legs, but you're measuring 2 of them at a time, and depending upon whether you get resistance or whether you get an open, tells you whether it's, if I remember right, PNP or NPN. But I'm going to have to get a refresher on that. And then we've got some, looks like shrink wrap for any leads. I will have some leads. I don't know if I'll need to shrink wrap them though. I'll definitely have leads that connect from the input output to the board, which reminds me, I must not have the circuit board from the timer. Yeah, that's it. That's what made me think I could do this. It wasn't the shredder. It was the timer that's just loaded with aluminum. And I think if I remember right, I wanted to specifically use the aluminum from that. I'll have to go digging. Anyway, it's got the input, 1/4 inch input jacks. If I needed any shrink wrap, it would probably be for that. All right, and that should be everything that I need for this. There's only a couple other things I'm thinking. Maybe power, because I'll probably want to use, I could use a battery. I think the original Fuzz face used a battery. But batteries are kind of a pain, although how much am I going to use my own pedal? Unless I make a pedal board out of homemade pedals, which, I'll have to think about that. Maybe I can, that'll be something that I will do. Anyway, so there's that unboxing. You might have wanted to see this other box. These are just the variable pots. And anyone who's played guitar knows what these things are. Okay, and they show up in all sorts of guitar equipment. And then what I liked about this is that it had several different styles of knobs, which is not the primary reason why I bought this kit, but one of the reasons. And I kind of liked having a choice with the knobs. And honestly, I'm not sure which. Oh, I kind of like that. Maybe I'll have to look at a Fuzz face and see specifically what it has, because those look kind of nice. I really do like this one. Although this would probably match with the color of the aluminum housing. All right, so there's that, and my camera just cut out. I may need to do a recharge, so I may actually be taking a break and not digging right into things, but I got to go find those other components anyway. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to show, because I need to breadboard things before I try to do. I'm so far out of practice. I absolutely want to make sure this works. And that video was from JHS Pedals, and part of what they were doing involved a pedal board that was geared specifically, or at least it seemed to me it was geared specifically for guitar pedals, because you've got your input and your output. So whatever it is that I breadboard, I can put my input in from my guitar, output to the amp, and make certain that the circuit works beforehand. And so I'll lay it out here, double check it, troubleshoot it before I try to then move it from that, move it from the breadboard to the PC board. There was no way I was going to try to do it cold and do it right to here. I think this will, having this breadboard will save me a ton of issues and problems. And then I've got a bunch of jumper cables that could come with the, that I ordered in it additionally with the breadboard. Okay, and so there'll be a number of parts to this. I may actually wrap this up here because this is kind of an overview. Although I wish I would have had a picture of the circuit, the schematic to show. Because I think I want to wrap this up. Maybe I'll print one off real quick, or pull it up. And oh, she's not in the. Is she in there? Here's my cat Anna, wanting to check things out. So I may be wrapping this up in the nick of time. See if we can get, if I can entice her to get in the frame here. You coming in, Missy? Coming in? My wonderful kitty cat Anna. I don't think I've had her in a video in a while. Maybe I'll pull that schematic up and take just a shot and add it to the end of this. And I may make this the part 1 video, and then the part 2 will be me pulling parts off of PC boards, and then part 3, breadboarding. Yep, there it went off again. I think my camera's about ready to die, just about out of juice. I'll breadboard, and then that'll be a part, and then assembling the PC board, and then of course casting the actual thing. So this will definitely be multi-parts. I haven't actually thought that far through. I just knew it was probably going to be more than one video. All right, let me get a good shot of Anna. Good shot of my kitty there. She's checking things out. Hey, good look for the camera. She actually does not like the GoPro at all, and more often than not, she'll attack it. All right, I think I'll end this video with a picture of the schematic, and then upload that. All right, so let's see how this next project goes. I wanted to get some footage of me removing some of these components. First of all, the lighting that I have here in my house is absolutely nothing like the bench lighting I had back in my assembly and tech days. So first I was going to start identifying resistors and removing those and getting those set aside. And I'm finding it incredibly challenging reading the color codes on there. But on my sheet of paper, I did use the interwebs to make certain I knew what colors I was looking for, and started scouting out, realizing, oh my goodness, it's going to be it's tough distinguishing those colors. So that's going to be a painful, potentially a painful process. And in the same way, being able to identify capacitors, it's very, very tough to read the sides of those things. I'm going to have to find a magnifying glass, and I've got one here on my little setup that came with my soldering iron, although I'm not seeing where that's easily removed. So I may need to also, when I'm at Harbor Freight, to pick up a multimeter that'll read capacitance. May get a magnifying glass too. Actually, it'd be nice if we had some of the magnifying glasses. I might look for one, a bench one that's large and has its own light. So I'm a little hampered on this, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway, because I want to see if I can actually pull this off. All right, so I'm going to go after these transistors here, and I'm going to see if I can at least remove a couple of them for the sake of the video. And what's nice is that they'll all be grouped in those three. So there'll be one here, one here, one here, and it looks like there's a couple right there. Yep. And then there's a series here, 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 and it's probably one there. Yep. So where we've got these sets of three, which would be, I'm trying to remember with my transistor, emitter, base, collector. Am I remembering that correctly? Emitter, base, and collector. All right, and I was happy to see that the sponge actually hydrated fairly well. So let's see if I can get this jumper wire off first. If that's, well, that's not even warming up. Whoa, I see there's an on and off button. All right, so already I've run into my first issue. Yeah, I didn't bother to see that the soldering iron had an off and on switch. Fantastic start. One thing I'll point out, I haven't seen in a long time, an ESD bag. That's what the desoldering wick came in, this little bag here. It didn't click yesterday when I did the first segment of this, which probably would have been last week's video. All right, we're getting a little warmer there. Let's see if it's warm enough for the tin. Not quite yet. Oh, a little bit. Let that warm up a little bit more. Looks like it's got a temperature. Let's see if I can warm that thing up a little more. Oh, I was thinking it had shown me that it was there. Oh, there we go. All right, now we're still warming up. Yeah. Hey, it comes to temperature pretty quick. All right, there we go. Not quite. It's quite warm enough yet. It is hot enough on the skin, that's for sure. I mean, I can kind of see it doing its thing, but not quite. I can warm this up a little bit more. Trying to think back, did I set any temperatures on the soldering irons we used back in the day? I don't remember, thinking that they were probably already set at certain temperatures. And then of course filming always makes things a little worse. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that the tip would tin on the solder there. Here's another piece. Maybe I can get it. Although, to me, the tip looked like it was pre-tinned. All right, now let's go back here. See if I can... Boy, it does not. No, there we go. And I was hoping I could pull that through. This process is going to be a little bit harder, I fear, than I originally imagined. Kind of hoping it would be liquid enough that it would have just pulled right through. Soften up. Ah, it looks like there might be a burr there. And then I wonder if it was soldered in place so that it wouldn't come out. All right, well, let me forget that. Let's try to get the first. All right, suck to that right off. My eyes were a lot better 20 years ago, too. Wish that solder wick was just a smidgen wider. Ah, there we are. Woohoo! All right, first one. I say I got myself when I was checking the temperature of that tip. All right, there's the first one. And then hopefully with a magnifying glass I can read. I wonder if I can. This one is enough. Got enough power in it. Enough light. Not enough light, I can't see. Hold on, I got a lamp. Oh, there we go. A101. M622. All right, so that'll give me something to look up, see if I can use it for what I hope to use it for. All right, so let's try another one, see if I can get on a roll here. Because that first one worked so well. Of course, there's also the danger. Come on, let go. Danger of frying the component, which I don't want to do. That one came clean. That one came clean. Get back here. And that one came loose as well. Those tweezers. All right. After some starts and stops, I was at least able to demonstrate that I can still do some desoldering. Haven't burned down the house yet or anything. Okay, so I think in terms of filming, I could film this forever because I've got a bunch of components, but it's that same basic technique. Okay, just take your spot you want, put your wick kind of over the top of that, put your soldering iron on top of that, and the solder gets sucked up into the wick, hence it being called a wick, and it'll suck up enough that it comes right out. I was hoping, it looks like there's a burr on the end. Maybe I'll go back and try get that off one more time. Anyway, I think I've shown enough here because this will take probably several hours to hunt down all the rest of the components and get them removed. So I think what I'll do is I'll stop this segment here. The next segment I'll add will be when I've got all the components collected. Thanks a whole bunch for watching. If you found this video entertaining, informative, or any such things like that in any way, shape, or form, please like and subscribe. Blessings.